Hey, sorry, folks. I had some technical difficulties with my webcam, so I had to switch off to my just my laptop camera. So sorry about this. But anyways, thanks for some of you for joining me. We'll jump right into it. So thanks to those of you who have tuned in. If there's anyone watching during this, and if you have any questions, we could turn this into a discussion. If not, I'm happy to just let this be a statement from my channel on this topic. Okay. First, I want to, of course, thank VivTech for being a really early supporter of this channel. They've been wonderful guests on the channel. Both Ryan and Erica, they're great people to speak with. At expos, just in general, over Facebook Messenger, they're very friendly people. Awesome to work with this whole experience. I'm genuinely passionate about advancing reptile husbandry. They have amazing products. Their smart monitor technology makes monitoring my pets extremely simple and convenient. I really enjoy using their smart monitor. Their line of LED UVB bulbs, it stands as a benchmark in our hobby's quest to replicate the sun and provide the most for our reptiles. But there is a report from Thomas Griffiths that was posted on the Facebook group Reptile Lighting, that I'll just read it. So, excuse me, sorry you had to hear that in the microphone. Anyone that is uh, unfamiliar with what we're talking about, this post will kind of explain the long and short of it. So it's titled "Lamp Report: VivTech Sursun UVB LED Lamps." For the most up-to-date version of the report, please use this link, and there's a link. I'll include it in the description once I upload this. In short, I'm not a big fan, he says. The dangerous shortwave length UVB is worrisome. I'm also not a fan of some of the marketing, podcasts, social media, etc., for these lamps that has insisted that animals are safe to touch the bulbs and even sit on the bulbs when they are turned on. This is very dangerous and should not be done with any bulb. I will mention in the report, it specifically mentions that they don't get hot. So that still, I think, is not the issue. But let's move on because that I think is the least important thing of this whole statement. There is a near complete lack of activity in the parts of the spectrum associated with the safe regulation of vitamin D synthesis. I have seen evidence of alleged damage to skin and eyes of animals from these lamps. In the past, when speaking to them, VivTech have responded with kindness to all messages. I sent this report to VivTech in January 2024, and I gave them the opportunity and time to respond to it, but I never heard back from them. So currently, it's March 12th, so that's the whole month of February in between there. And he posted this a couple weeks ago. I will say it's sort of towards the end of February, early March. I should have looked up the exact date, but it was around then. I will say that VivTech's position is that they use these lamps on a range of animals and have many customers that also use them. He continues, their position is also that they do not measure shortwave UVB or UVC when conducting tests on this range of products. But I can confirm that my spectrometer is more sensitive to UV than their equipment. I conduct tests at a controlled environment, and I have the device recalibrated shortly before conducting these tests. Parenthetical, I recalibrate it once a year with the manufacturer. End of quote. Um, and so there are things in the report that we were already aware of, that the UVA level was much higher than what we receive from the sun, and that would affect their visual representation of sunlight, and that the UV spectrum wasn't complete and would lack the quote unquote breaks of the vitamin D cycle. I thought this was complete, or excuse me, was simply counteracted with the linear T5 tubes, and that the use of these two bulbs together was honestly the best solution to recreating the visual spectrum for reptiles, including the full B to A range and mimicking sunlight. However, this report concludes that there is light in the non-terrestrial spectrum that comes from the VivTech bulbs. So the first call, which is their lowest percentage UV bulb, intended for sort of crepuscular and what we used to consider nocturnal reptiles. It measured up to 0.05% in the UVC spectrum and 0.1% in the non-terrestrial UVB spectrum. So for those that don't know, the UVB spectrum that actually hits Earth stops at the 281 nanometer range, but UVB continues down to the 290 nanometer range. Excuse me, the non-terrestrial, it stops at the 290 and below, so it goes from 290 to 281, and then UVC actually starts there, sort of the 280 and below. So that's what I'm talking about on the visual spectrum. If it goes from left to right, it would be way over on the left, and we're talking about stuff that actually is filtered out, that doesn't come down to Earth. through the atmosphere. So the questions I want to know is I want to know if these bulbs are dangerous. I personally haven't observed any negative effects from any of the six snakes I've had use it. If you personally want to continue using them, I would suggest dimming them to reduce the output of that at least. But honestly, I've turned mine off until I could get more concrete proof that these are safe bulbs. So this report showed that light showed up in the dangerous again. If you're just tuning in, that light showed up in the dangerous section of the spectrometer in the non-terrestrial UVB and UVC range. But I have questions about that, and I have to say before I turn it over to read if there's anyone here. I love Ryan and Erica, and I think they've pushed the UV light industry forward for our hobby. And I genuinely hope this is a setback towards more advanced and amazing innovation. I've spoken briefly with VivTech for comment on this issue, and have been told they will have one. But otherwise, I don't make any attempt to speak for them. Um, I, I did also want to check to see if there is. I know there was a previous report on them. So the first comment, Graham Frederick said, "Not ready, shouldn't be on sale yet." Thanks for watching. Yeah, I don't know because there was other um, reports on this topic, and I believe that it didn't show up a um, with any of the UVC or non-terrestrial UVB on it. So it's interesting that the new version had couple. Hey Kaylee, hey Wolf guys. I have from Riser. I have friends that have used the solar meter on their lights, and they were reading dangerously high 20 plus UVI. Within 2 weeks, were completely dead, producing UVI. This, and then it blurs out a little bit. Was a test. This test was on over 20 lights. That's interesting. I test my bulbs with my solar meter, and they come out just fine. So I've heard some people mention that, and I think that's interesting. Um, that they come out really high because I don't know what that issue is about. And it's also interesting because I don't think that was the inconsistency was mentioned. I think there was in Serena Wonderlick's report. I think there was a mention of an inconsistent batch that was addressed. So I'm wondering if there was sort of a holdback to some inconsistency in manufacturing. Thanks for talking about. Yeah, you're welcome. That's kind of what I wanted to bring up. This is something they're a product that I've supported, and I'm serious when I say the rest of their smart monitor system is pretty great. The temperature and humidity sensors make it really easy to check. I love the Wi-Fi dimming of bulbs. I think that's really convenient. Um, I'm tempted to use it for heat bulbs too, in substitute of thermostats in some cases, but I'm on the fence about that right now. Like their products are fantastic, but um, as someone who promotes them on the channel, I have concerns about the safety of it after this report comes out, but I'm also concerned about the inconsistencies between the others. Not sure how accurate the solar meter is with these narrow band diodes. Are you talking about the handheld one, Graham? Yeah, I don't think so either. Uh, it's just for a understanding of I test it when I get it, and then I kind of test it to see how it's degraded too, because sometimes you don't have to replace them as soon as they say. I was wondering if it was batches. But yeah, about your part between two people. Yeah, I have no idea. With the consistency of the product, that's very interesting. Um, but it's not something that I'd heard of and wasn't mentioned in this report as far as I noticed. Excuse me for drinking LaCroix. Uh, it's delicious. It's like as if soda was best friends with fruit. Um, thank you guys for tuning in and watching. I just kind of wanted to bring that up. Oh hey, what's up, Cody? Oh yeah. Good to see you on here. I remember that now. Um, so anyways, thanks guys for joining up. If you have some questions on these, I'd love to talk about it further. But it's something I'll link a copy to the report in the description of this. That way you guys get a chance um, to read exactly what I'm talking about too. But just wanted to get more information out there and let people know that this is not the end of the world for this company, and I wait also to hear what VivTech have to say about this, because they're two people that I think should stay in the industry, and you vote with your dollar, right? So, um, if you also think there's someone worth supporting, I highly recommend checking out their other products. The smart monitor system is pretty convenient. Um, but I for now have the lamps turned off just until we have more information out. Um, yeah, they're very nice, great to talk to, and that's the reason why I'm pretty sure that they're going to do the right thing. If there's a problem with the bulbs being unsafe, I'm not sitting here questioning whether or not Ryan and Erica are going to put unsafe products on the market. They're not. So if they could, if they come to the conclusion that these are not safe products, then they're going to come off and they're going to do the right thing about it. So I just kind of wanted to get to the exact truth about it. I feel like there should be a second review of it, just to make sure that everything is done properly, and um, if there's any extra information that could get out there too. So thanks, folks, for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. I do have some more scripted stuff and edited things coming in, so hope you enjoy that if you stick around for that. Otherwise, have a great night. Good seeing you. Bye bye.